You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, ladies? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva, and knowledge, your spiritual sister, Lady Mocha with Mocha's Ladies Lounge. Big ups to all of y'all for rocking with me, supporting me, all the love, all the encouragement. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all don't be realizing y'all be making my day and not even know it. So again, I want to thank each and every one of you. Appreciate you so much. If this is your first time checking out any of my content and you like what you hear today, please make sure you subscribe, join the family. You're going to be so happy that you did. You know, I keep it real over here. I have a good time, I keep it lively, but at the same time, I'm always drop those gems, drop that knowledge. So nevertheless, you're definitely going to get a blessing out of the content one way or another. So let's get right into this because y'all done waited long enough. So I want to talk about the sunken place. This is the sermon of today. This sermon of the day. Now, I know some of y'all may be familiar with the term sunken place. And where it comes from for me is the movie Get Out. And if you haven't watched it, the movie Get Out, which was a very weird yet deep movie because it definitely had a very significant meaning to it if you really paid attention to the film, you know, and it had a lot of factors that really kind of opened your eyes to things that we, you know, were never really open to, we never really paid attention to, but it's going on every day. Matter of fact, the director was Jordan Peele, and we're seeing a lot of men falling into the sunken place. The guy that was in the movie Get Out, he fell into the sunken place when he, you know, decided to build a relationship with a non-colored woman. And he's basically, I'm not going to get into the details of the movies because it's just way too much to phantom because it's a very deep yet very good movie. And basically just boils down to the fact that some of these men, when they get with these non-colored women, their whole mental psyche, their character, everything about them changes to the point to they forget that they are even black. You know, they get so deep. In other words, they get so sunken, like somebody that's drowning, you know, that they can't come up for air and really see themselves for who they truly are. Now, I would say this. I don't have a problem with men dating outside of their race because I feel everybody should be entitled to love who they want to love. After all, black women, we date outside of our race. I don't think anybody should limit themselves to just only seeking specific people because that's how you get disappointed. Sometimes you got to broaden your horizons and you do have to expand and be willing to step outside your usual. You know, it has worked for some people and for other people it has not worked. I don't have a problem with people dating outside of their race. My problem is when you start dating outside of your race and you think you're above your own kind. And That's rather if you're a black man or a white woman, even if you're a white woman and you're thinking you better than other white women because you got a black husband. I have a problem with that. I just have a problem with people sense of superiority once they done crossed over to the other side. That's my issue. Long as you pretty much stay in your lane and you cool, calm, and collective, you're not acting snobby and crabby and thinking you better than everybody, then I can rock with you. I don't even like black women who married to black men and think they better than black women. I just don't like arrogance. I don't like that sense of superiority. I don't like it. I don't like arrogant vibing people. I don't vibe with arrogant people very well. Just be down to earth, be cool, calm, and collective, and I'll embrace whoever you embrace. But this is the whole problem we got, y'all. That's why I'm doing this content. I'm focusing on the brothers, and I'm going to say this. You know, this is not a sexist content. We have had our share of black women who started smelling themselves once they got with a basic brat who ended up disgracing them in the end. So I'm not going to sit up here and drag all black men without dragging some of the sisters now, because Holly Berry had her share of some basic brads, and we all know what happened with her in that. She's paying both of them child support, okay? We've seen what's the black female that was dating the athlete Kelsey, and now he's with damn Taylor Swift now. You know what I mean? It's a couple of sisters, even Shar Jackson, who was dating well, I won't use her as an example because Shar Jackson was actually with Kevin Federline before Britney Spears got with him, so I can't knock her on that. But basically my example is we've seen sisters also get played by these brands, okay? So we're not going to act like, you know what I mean, this is something only black men have a problem with, okay? But today we're going to focus on the brothers. We're going to stay in one lane, but I just want to share that with y'all because you got some sisters who be forgetting. We be slipping. We fumble the ball sometimes too. You know, we try to cross over. They ain't work for us always either. But let's get into talking about these men. I'm going to call them the sunken simps. Okay? Basically, once they got with these non-colored women, honey, they just start showing they behind. No, not only on their ex-wife, but the main thing is your own children. Now, we all know Brian McKnight is on a lot of people's hit list. You know, a lot of people look at him sideways now. Basically because it's been a lot of tension going on between Brian McKnight and his ex-wife for quite some time. And even after their divorce, you know, and even though both have moved on, it's still a lot of tension there. And I don't think it has ever really been resolved, because a lot of the times, this is what happens when it comes to divorce. A lot of the times when there's a lot of bitter blood between the parents and it's never gotten resolved, nobody was man or woman enough to wave the truce flag and say, look here, whatever didn't work out between us, we're going to leave it at that. You know, we don't want the children to suffer. Sometimes you have two individuals, grown folks, that both are stubborn and bullheaded and want to stay bitter, want to stay stuck in their ways, and they're not willing to humble themselves for the sake of their children. Now, there's been some instances in which one person's willing to humble themselves, but the other one isn't. That doesn't work either. It's going to take two mature men, women to come together and be able to settle their differences aside. But we know in the perfect world, it does not work like that. Brian McKnight and his ex-wife Julie have had a lot of bitter blood between the both of them. Now, keep in mind, they was married in 1990. And Julie was his college sweetheart. So this lady was with him, you know, way before he became this this popular R&B love making music artist. You know what I mean? She was with him when nobody really knew of Brian McKnight. But nevertheless, during the tenure of his success, they did have two children together. and they ended up divorcing in 2003. Also, keep in mind, McKnight did indeed have a daughter, who that he fathered while he was married to Julie, and a son from a son from a previous relationship. So Brian McKnight was not this this knight in shining armor like we thought he was. You know, a lot of these, listen, women, a lot of these guys who be singing this beautiful love making music, Brian McKnight, Key Sweat, which is definitely one of my guilty pleasures. You know, a lot of these men sing all this beautiful love ballads and love songs, and they don't really live up to this fantasy that they make us believe. You know, Brian McKnight always had a lot of female fans because he's always done this beautiful, you know, love music, romantic music, letting the woman know how special she is, how beautiful she is. You're more than wonderful. You're more than amazing. And, you know, he always took our breath away with that falsetto. The man can sing. But, baby, underneath that beautiful falsetto is a demon in hell. Okay? Now, he made people really look at him in a different light when he recently did his Instagram post about the arrival of his new baby boy. And I will definitely say this, I will congratulate, you know, him for, and his wife for, you know, bringing a beautiful baby boy into this world, who's healthy. That's a blessing within itself. You know, children did not ask to be here, so I'm not going to speak anything negatively on the baby. But I will say Brian McKnight was doing the most, and you can tell that he's really trying to poke the bear, because this man has gone so far as to announcing that he was going to legally change his name to match his newborn son's name. Now, how you know he's trying to poke the bear, because while he couldn't just do it privately, he had to announce it before he did it. And that's how you know he has a lot of ill will. Now, keep in mind, not only is he proud to say that he's going to change his name to match the name of the newborn, who hasn't even spoken his first word yet, but he's also taken the oath to be a father to his wife's current children, Jack and Julia. So not only is he making it clear that he's going to change his name so it would not match with his firstborn son from his first wife, he's also going to take on the ownership of claiming Jack and Julia, which is children from his current wife, previous relationships. So basically what Brian McKnight is trying to do is erase his existence to his prior children. But the whole truth of the matter is, he will never ever be able to erase it. I don't care if he changes his name to Barack Obama. His children are not going to disappear. It's not going to make his children less his children because he changes the name. Even if he has nothing to do with them, even if he does not want to claim them or have any ownership to them, it's not going to change the blood that is running through their veins. Okay, I'm Mr. McKnight. I hope you know. I know you're doing this out of spite, because you have a lot of anger and bitterness towards your ex-wife. So because of that, you are spitting all that poisonous venom out on your children, and you're trying so badly to really make your children angry with you, to the point you're trying to erase their existence, and you're not going to be able to do that. It's no different than a man who has a child out, you know, out in the world, and he feels like because he does not claim that child, he does not take care of that child, has nothing to do with the child, that the child does not exist. That child will always exist until the day you die or that child dies. Ignoring a child, not claiming that child, not having anything to do with that child is not gonna change or negate the fact you are that child's father. Now, reading some of these articles, in addition to their son, the couple is already parents to son Jack and daughter Julia. That is his wife's children. McKnight is also father to sons Brian Jr. and Nico with ex-wife Julie McKnight. Okay, so he does have two sons from Julie, whom he was married from 1990 to 2003, and daughter Brianna McKnight. Okay, and that was the daughter I told y'all about that he had while within the marriage. So Brian McKnight has the audacity for me that he's walking around here acting like he's always been this wonderful husband and wonderful father, to be stepping on the necks of his ex-wife and his children. And my thing is, your ex-wife accepted your daughter that you had on her in the marriage. And see, this is the reason why I listen. It doesn't always pay off standing by some of these men when it comes to, their bad choices. Now, sometimes it works out. Sometimes these men grow up, they learn, they better themselves, and they do their very best to never put you in a position where they shame you or embarrass you. They humble themselves wholeheartedly after really embarrassing you. Some men have the grace of God to understand I messed up royally. I need to respect and appreciate this woman for standing by my trifling ass versus being mean, rude, and disrespectful. So McKnight already has this past in which he has fumbled, and the fact that he gets with this whole new woman, marries her, and acts as if that's the only family he's ever known and had. Now, in January, McKnight and his wife announced that they welcome another baby in a joint Instagram post. For this child we have prayed, and the Lord has granted us the desires of our hearts. 1 Samuel, oh honey, he going deep, y'all. He putting in Bible scriptures and everything. 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 27, God's greatest gift, our son, is here. The pair wrote alongside a photo of McKnight and Leonie making a heart with their hands around the infant's hand. So he's really basking in the ambience of trying to really taunt his family. He's really trying to taunt his ex-wife and their children. And if you go to his Instagram page, well, some of you don't have an Instagram, and I would have loved to put a lot of photos in this, but it just would have been too much work. You can tell he's really trying to rub it in their face. Now, my thing is, enjoy your blessing, but enjoy it privately. Why you have to post it over and over and over and over? And that's what he's doing. He wants to let his ex-wife and his children know how happy he is to be a father of his whole new family. And there's nothing wrong with moving on and building a new family. Nothing is wrong with that. But the fact that you have to constantly let it be known, which lets me know that Brian McKnight does not have good intentions on what he's doing. There's a video of him and his wife when she was first pregnant. It's a maternity shoot. And I see that he posted a caption underneath it, "To my beautiful wife, lover, best friend, and mother of my child. Happy birthday, my love, my hula girl." He goes on and says much more. "This birthday makes a decade of birthdays we spent together, baby. Time flies when you live in a dream." He is really milking this, y'all. This past year has been especially beautiful. The year of answered prayers, waiting for the birth of our precious child, watching our love grow inside you. It's like he's doing a song, y'all. It's like this is a song lyric. Listen. "Rubbing your belly, talking, singing to him as he grew, watching him be born and finally holding him in my arms. I have this all because of you. So today, on your birthday and every day, I honor you. I was made for you and you were made for me. And our love has made our son a perfect little life. Our legacy is more, y'all. Every second I spend with you is the greatest second of my life. Every minute, hour, day, greater than the last. I'm so proud to be your husband and father of our children. Okay, which means he's claiming the other ones too. It is the greatest honor of my life, my reason for living. I lost my place. Happy birthday, my sweet 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼, heavenly flower, love of my life. I'm so very much in love with you. Girl, listen. If doing the most what was a person, you can tell he is really trying to antagonize his family. Now, listen, I checked out some of the comments, y'all, because I want to make sure I'm not the only one being extra. Maybe I'm, like, taking it deep or whatever, like, you know, like, I feel like he's doing the most. So, you know, I'm going to read a couple of comments to see if other people is sensing that this man is trying to torment his family, you know. So, I'm not going to read all the comments, but I'm going to just read a few. Somebody says, Sonia, you act like this is your first wife and your first kid. How do you think your other kids feel when you talk about this baby like it is your only child? Ha ha ha. Girl, somebody put, man, you are so shallow. Beautiful face, perfect body. You love this woman for her looks and looks only. Hula girl, really, really, you're so out of your mind. Would you write a song for a black woman? You know every marriage starts off like this, sad. Very interesting. Now, here's a white woman who comes and comments, y'all. Man, I didn't realize that there was so many perfect people and so many gods. I thought there was only one Lord whose job is to judge while others is to love and show compassion and mercy. Y'all act like you've been personally involved in his life. Judge not, and until you walked in another woman's shoes, don't think you know the true steps you've taken to the journey. That's enough hate. Don't add to it. Now, I find it funny, the white sister, because I got love for my white women too. Some of y'all are cool, but some of y'all ain't so cool. But then again, a lot of sisters ain't cool either. Anyway, I'm sure you would look at it that way, because as a black woman, you can't identify with our struggles and pains. So I'm not trying to hear what the snow bunny has to say. Black woman comes in, when true love finds you, embrace it no matter your past. True love is so hard to find. Okay, so you got a couple of sisters that's okay with it. I'm not going to read all into this. He has a mixed review, so I like that. I like the fact that all black women ain't going in on him, because, you know, we're so bitter. We're such haters. We never want to congratulate a black man. And you know what? But truth be told, that's the right thing to do. You know, congratulate them. Congratulate his sunken simp ass, because I'm not on a spiritual journey today. And keep it moving. You know, I think sometimes, you know, society expects us to be bitter. So we have to do the opposite. So I'm glad a lot of sisters did come in there and say, you know, congratulations. We wish you the best. But we all know it is what it is. You know what I mean? We know you doing the most, you know. And I was trying to find that one where he really talks about how he that real long post, I can't freaking find it, where he basically goes on and on about his son, his newborn son, being the best thing that ever happened to him. But we all know, even without reading a long post, that Brian McKnight has made it very clear that he does not see any urgency in trying to correct his feelings or his relationship with his children. He's made that very clear. His children have come forward. His sons have come forward, and righteously so. They have taken a high road, basically saying that, you know, we're going to just do the best that we got to do. He even neglected this daughter he had on his wife, and even Brianna, his daughter, came out and said, hey, I'm glad I at least got my oldest brothers, because they're the only father figures I really have. So his children are just accepting the fact that father Brian is going to be Brian. He has pretty much started his whole new chapter in life, and his new chapter does not include him, does not include them. So they have accepted that. They're not trying to push or open the door anymore, and I really commend them on that, because it's very painful when your own father moves on and starts this new chapter, a new journey, and all of a sudden he does not feel like he has to include you, because Brian McKnight had all these excuses of how his children are gold diggers. They need to work for what they work. Listen, I get that, and I may be true. You know, I don't want to say that Brian McKnight is a total villain in this, because parents, we do have children who think they're entitled to things, especially when you're famous and you're well off. So I don't want to completely just shoot the brother down. You know, yeah, the angry black woman in me wants to just butcher his behind and call him all the no good this and that, but I got to be reasonable. Children, they have they days when they have this sense of entitlement where we're supposed to do no matter what. But the way Brian McKnight is handling it, it's a no for me. The way he's so open with it, the way he's praising his new family, that I have an issue with the way Brian McKnight is going about it. If you want your children to be grown and take care of themselves and not mooch off of you and become codependent on you, nothing is wrong with making them work for their own. But I find it funny how you brought your stepdaughter a Mercedes Benz, and how you bragged about you and your stepson. So you're coming off as a liar, because you're saying one thing but you're doing everything else for your new wife and her kids. So I'm having a hard time. I'm trying to see your side, Brian McKnight, but your actions are making me look at you with the side eye, because from my understanding, like you said, your kids are grown and they're down there in their 30s. Well, your wife, her kids are not little like that. Not your, you know, excluding your newborn son. They're grown enough too, to where they can work and get jobs at Chick-fil-A and all of that. But you ain't got a problem buying them a Mercedes Benz, her daughter. Then you posted it online. You basically, you coming off really shady. You coming off really shady. And you contradicting yourself. You're saying one thing, but your actions are not in alignment. Because you're buying and flossing and flexing on the gram everything you buy for your wife and her children. Now, I'm going to pump the brakes on Brian McKnight. Okay? Because Brian McKnight is not the only man who has done this. Dr. Dre's kids. There have been other men, black men as well, who have fallen into the sunken place and end up disgraced. Now, Dr. Dre, big time entrepreneur, producer, I would say the man is very phenomenal as far as a businessman. Dr. Dre has accomplished a lot of success, being from the hood, from the hard knock life of Compton. I guess I don't know if it's from Compton, but I know Los Angeles, you know, California, whatever. He has had to basically go through a lot, you know, to get to where he is. You know, it didn't come easy. You know, he was one of the founders of the group NWA, you know, so if I can give him any credit, I would say that he's definitely became very successful. He's accomplished a lot. However, what he has not succeeded in and has not been great in accomplishing is the relationship with his children. Now, when Dr. Dre, who we all know at one point in time was dating singer 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼, Dr. Dre has had his share of many, many women. And we've heard about his past with him being physically abusive, allegedly. By the way, everything I say in this content is alleged and based off of my own personal opinion for educational and entertainment purpose only. So, Dr. Dre has not had the best of controversy with women. We saw the movie that 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼 did, showing all the physical abuse and mental abuse that she had encountered during her relationship with Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre even went so far as to he physically assaulted a video show host when they had the, I think, MTV Raps. One of those shows he was doing where he physically assaulted one of the female journalists, and give and take, he has apologized for all of this, and it was during his younger days when he was really wilding out. But the man has a history of being a hot mess with women, okay? However, not only that, if y'all do not know, Dr. Dre has 9 children, okay? Dr. Dre has Curtis, LaTanya, Tyra, LaToya, Ashley, Andre Jr., Marcel, Truice, and Truly. And all of these are women from previous relationships and current relationship. Now, keep in mind, when Dr. Dre decided to marry his snow bunny, Nicole, basically Dr. Dre showed his backside. He become the sunken simp, the sunken simp, and basically acted as if he had no other children. Rumor has it, Dr. Dre has older daughters who are every bit in their 30s and 40s, because he started spreading seeds early. Okay, I mean, Dr. Dre was the ghetto gardener, okay? He was spreading some seeds, all right? Spreading them like COVID. So he got daughters that's every bit in their early 40s now. One of the daughters stated that how he has several grandchildren. I guess she has kids, and how he does not reach out to them. He doesn't check on them. He doesn't stop by. He does nothing for her or the children she has. He's not a good father or good grandfather, let her tell it. And basically, his ex, the mother of his, I think 3 or 4 daughters he had prior, she's part of the alphabet mafia. She's changed teams, but she shared her experiences before she switched teams and was into men, how abusive he was towards her as well, and that's probably why she went that way. I'm guessing. But nevertheless, Dr. Dre has children out here who basically he don't give a rat's ass about. Okay, we ain't got to go through all the whole shebang or whatever. But when he got with Nicole, which he married May of 1996, he basically started smelling himself. He got his snow bunny, and he basically started thinking he was more superior than all of his black baby mamas, than all his black children. So basically, a lot of these women know how to stroke the ego of these sunken simps. They know how to stroke their ego. They know how to make them feel like they have arrived to cloud 9, and you couldn't tell Dr. Dre nothing. He really thought he had it in the bag, honey. You couldn't tell him anything. Now, if y'all saw the movie Straight Outta Compton, if y'all peeped it, I peeped it, and I liked the movie. I noticed how he only talked about his current wife in that movie. He had the scene showing when they met, showing how she was this graceful, elegant woman. He never talked about any of his black baby mamas or any. In the 1 or 2 scenes he had, it was just negative. Like, I think one of them was saying how we need money, how we're going to support these kids. But he put his snow bunny, the role he had somebody to play as the snow bunny, he made it seem as if she was the most elegant, best thing that ever happened to him in the movie. He didn't talk about 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼. He didn't talk about the other kids, before, and he had kids on Michelle too. Dr. Dre had kids on almost every woman he was involved in. He ain't put that part in the goddamn movie. But anyway, moving along. So he basically put Nicole like she was a goddess. And in 2021 of December 28th, baby, Nicole said, I'm going to jump ship from this sunken ship. She filed divorce on Dr. Dre. He didn't even see it coming. He didn't see it coming. Also, one of Dr. Dre's sons did pass away. I forgot which one of the baby mamas, but he did lose a son. I forgot how he lost his son. I think his son, I couldn't remember if his son was sickly or something. I think his son had something going on with him medically. So, yeah, Dr. Dre definitely has had his share of tragedies. But getting back to the point, she divorced him. She the one who initiated the divorce. So he did not want the divorce. She did. So that says a whole lot about Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre couldn't keep none of the women who wanted him. None of the women who wanted him. But the one woman he did want, he couldn't keep her either. She divorced him. Not only that, when he was in the hospital, had an aneurysm, brain aneurysm, doctors didn't think he was going to pull it through. How about they was trying to get him to sign the paperwork while he was in the hospital, practically on his deathbed. Now, if that's called, I really want you out of my life, I don't know what is. Nicole tried to get him to push them papers during one of his vulnerable moments. Okay? When he didn't even know he was going to make it. Not only that, she divorced, she got the divorce papers served to him at his mama's funeral. I think it was his grandmama's funeral. I think it was his mom. I think it was his grandmama's funeral. She had the papers served at the funeral. Imagine grieving over one of your loved ones who you was close to, and some white man comes up to you while you're grieving over the casket and said, sir, you were being served. I'm like, what the hell? Everybody was mad about that, and I understand that, but at the same time, you got to realize Dr. Dre is a very busy man. It's not the average Joe. You can't just catch him anytime. That was the only time the man could catch him, was at the funeral. He had to make sure he got those papers. That's the only way that's the only way the divorce was going to be effective. He was going to have to give those papers to Dr. Dre. So he served it to him at his grandmama's funeral. It is what it is. So, anyway, you that battle through court, and she did get a certain percentage, but she did not get half of what she was seeking, y'all. Dr. Dre actually did get the upper hand in that divorce. She got money, but she's not going to get the amount she really was pushing and the amount she got used to. A man giving you money versus you living in the money is two totally different things. When you was living in the money, you didn't have to monitor how you spent, because y'all was living under the same roof, of course. But once the lawyer, the judges, the courts get involved and they cut you a piece of the pie, now you got to watch how you spend your money. Because this ain't money you're going to have for the rest of your life, versus when y'all was married and together, you didn't have to monitor your spending as much. But she got beat. So Dr. Dre still ended out on top in the end. Even though his snow bunny, she was trying to take him to the cleaners. But to the point at hand, Dr. Dre pissed on all of his black children, got with a snow bunny, had they beautiful mixed breed babies, and acted like his other black children did not even exist. All you ever seen Dr. Dre talk about was his mixed breed kids from Nicole. And mind you, he has beautiful children from Nicole. He has a handsome son, beautiful daughter. They look just like him, Not only that, Dr. Dre was taking care of her son from a previous relationship as if that son was his own, like Brian McKnight was doing. Yet your own oldest daughter out there got grandchildren from you, and you have absolutely nothing to do with them. Now I will say this: I did hear Dr. Dre was doing a lot for his other children, but they got greedy, wanting more and more and more and more. So again, I know these kids think they are entitled. So I can't sit up here and say that he was totally a deadbeat father, but I will say this: he did not handle it correctly. And ultimately it ended up costing him to not have a relationship with his own grandchildren. Now, hopefully, I don't know, maybe he reached out ever since his Snow Bunny left. Maybe he had a change of heart. Maybe he's interacting in their lives a little bit more. Maybe it took a reality check. Maybe it took the brain aneurysm in the hospital to make him reevaluate some things. I don't know the update on if him and his kids from the previous marriage got back. I don't know. So I don't want to go in too strongly. But I know after Dr. Dre realized that this was going to be one thing he was not going to succeed in, even though he succeeded in multiple albums, succeeded in producing a lot of beats. He couldn't succeed in keeping his Snow Bunny. And after the divorce, he called himself trying to do a one-up by having a big old divorced AF, meaning divorced as fuck celebration. And I'm like, after the paperwork was finalized, but sir, why are you rejoicing? You are not the one who filed the paperwork. She did. So you acting like this is something you wanted. You got to act like you're okay with it because she didn't want you anymore. She didn't care about the Rolls Royce. She didn't care about the Bentley. That meant, listen, this man is a millionaire. For his Snow billionaire, practically. This woman, to want to leave that lifestyle, she just could not deal with his nasty, arrogant, hateful behind. You can look at Dr. Dre and tell he's a lot. He's a handful. He's not an ugly guy, But you can look at him and tell he's very strict, he's very stern, and don't tell him how much his Snow Bunny, and don't tell him how much that woman had to go through to keep him happy. He seems controlling, just because you're with a man that's a millionaire, it don't necessarily mean you're going to be happy. Listen, some of these men are very territorial with their money, and they're very territorial with you. Just because you see these women driving a Bentley, that don't mean he ain't got no restrictions on that Bentley. You need to be back to the house by 10 o'clock. You need to only drive over here, over there. He probably got a tracker in that damn Bentley just to see everywhere you go. Listen, all of these millionaire men are not a joy to goddamn be with. Some of them are nasty, they hoish, and they feel like, hey, as long as I'm paying the bills, if I want to sling dick out here or whatever, then you got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So, his Snow Bunny was not happy with him. That's why she filed out divorce first. He didn't file it, she did. You can become so miserable with a man, it's like, damn your money, I want out. This man is making my life miserable. Yeah, I ain't got to worry about my light bill. I ain't got to worry about my car insurance. But I'm miserable. He's an a-hole. He talks to me all kind of way. He's disrespectful. He treats me like I'm a child. I don't have a say-so. Why do you think a lot of these Hollywood marriages don't be working out? You think because these women married to these rappers, producers, and actors? Jada Pinkett was so miserable with Will Smith. She was not happy with that man. A lot of them ain't happy. I don't care how successful they are. Some of these men are a piece of damn work to live with. They extra. They clingy. Will Smith strikes me as a clingy husband. Like he clingy like. Like he'll be right up on you while you trying to wash clothes and stuff. He seemed too needy for me. Jada don't respect Will. He's a simp. That got nothing to do with it. This is my point. A lot of these men get with these non-colored women and they start disrespecting and disowning children from their previous marriage, and they never prepare for the day when things can go wrong and how you may not be able to cross back those bridges that you have burned. Dr. Dre thought he was on top of the world with his Snow Bunny and with his Snow Bunny children. Now all along, Nicole White stayed with him long enough just to make sure that when she left his ass, that she would at least be able to keep the Bentley and the Porsche out of the marriage. So she tolerated it long enough to where, she would be able to benefit. All women don't have the same level of patience to just tolerate the disrespect until that 10-year or 14-year tenure is up. And now the judge is going to make sure you banked up and you stacked up. So some of these men are too unbearable to even be with. You get what I'm saying? The thing is this, life has a funny way of making things come back on you. And you have to really walk a fine line with how you treat people. You have to walk a fine line with how you do people. You have to really walk a fine line, because it doesn't matter how great you are sitting. It doesn't matter how good you're sitting. Right now, you can't predict the future. You can't predict how people going to fold on you. You can't predict how people are going to switch lanes on you. You can't predict that. Especially the way you went about it. If you left things on ugly terms and thinking you could just go on this side and everything's going to work out in your favor, listen, a lot of times you got to correct your wrongs before you move on. You don't do all your wrong and be strong in it and move on and think you never have to answer for the way you handle things back there. It's important that you correct your wrongs, then you move on. The problem in this case with Brian McKnight, he did not correct his wrongs with his children and his ex-wife. And all the energy he put into the Instagram and trying to dig and throw jigs and poke the bear by putting all these long paragraphs about how wonderful his new family is, basically insulting and shading his family. He should have been man enough to at least have some type of meeting or conference or something in which him, his ex-wife, and his children could come to some type of reasonable agreement. That would have been a man thing to do. Clear that path, then you go ahead and move on and be happily ever after. But when you leave your previous family messed up and you think you're just going to move on happily with your new family and it don't come back to bite you, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. There is this thing called karma. And whatever you put out into the universe is what you're going to get back. Dr. Dre found that out when his snow bunny, who he praised and worshipped, the ground she walked on, she left him. He did not see that coming. He thought he was going to always have his snow bunny. He thought he was better than his black baby mamas because he had his snow bunny. And his snow bunny had to humble him and knock him down a peg or two and say, I don't want to be with you. I won't out this marriage. She filed the divorce papers on you. Had you not forgot, sir, when you walked out on all your black baby mamas? So why are I was not shocked when Nicole left him. He left all his baby mamas. Once he got big and successful, he ain't cared about none of them women. He moved on and started a whole new life. You cannot move and start a whole nother life if you have not corrected things from your past. You got to make peace with your past. Get along with your children. Get along with the mother of your children. If they don't want to get along with you, at least you can say you tried. You can your conscience could be at ease. You can go lay down and rest peacefully at night because you've done everything that you were supposed to do. And that's what it boils down to. Also, the other issue about this is his wife, is enjoying, participating in Brian McKnight being at feud with his, with his ex-wife and his children. I've never been fond of blended families, and I understand it's a touchy situation when it comes to, having to deal with the man and his past, especially when there's children involved. But you should never rejoice and co-sign in your husband dogging his children and maliciously, trying to bring any type of pain or misery to his ex-wife. It's different if she's being messy and trying to make problems for y'all, But Brian McKnight's wife, as far as I know, doesn't seem to have that issue. But she has basically put it out there that, you know, he has not been this knight in shining armor that everybody believes, you know, he is. So right now, Brian McKnight and his wife, they are basking in the ambience, and it's only a matter of time, you know, when things will definitely reveal itself for what it is. I've seen too many men and women, you know, married couples who think very highly of themselves and highly of each other, and it only, you know, ends up crumbling because there's so much ego involved, and it's this image. And I strongly believe for Brian McKnight to go this far, he's butthurt. You know, he's letting all the Mitchness truly manifest itself. He's really showing how involved he is in his feminine emotions, because this is not a manly, masculine way of dealing with your problems. This is not a masculine way of, you know, resolving it. I'm just getting a lot of feminism coming from him. You know, all of being extra on Instagram, these long paragraphs, these long Tyler Perry Hallmark cards, long filled speeches about how wonderful his wife and his new life is. I'm like, you know, bro, you really, in the words of, you know, like this pastor said, if you really don't care about something, it wouldn't bother you. So for you to constantly keep going in and doing the things that you're doing, you're showing how really pressed you are. You are definitely very pressed that you cannot manipulate and control your ex-wife and your children. So that's why you're putting the new family and the new wife on the pedestal, because in your mind you feel like you're good, and you feel like you're in such a better place now. So you're pretty much on your high horse. A lot of men have done this, gotten on their high horse. We've seen Kanye West, you know, some of these guys cross over to the other side and they start acting like they're Jesus. You know, they start thinking that they are God because their ego is getting stroked. And, you know, their wife is co-signing with you on the shenanigans. From what I heard, Dr. Dre's ex-wife, Nicole, she was not a fan of Dr. Dre's previous children either. And when it all boiled down to it, she couldn't stand his guts. What I think with Brian McKnight, y'all, I think he's going to be so over smothering with his current family. I believe he's going to really start rubbing them the wrong way in his own, you know, conniving, extra manipulative, doing the most way. The way he's acting on Instagram with the long Tyler Perry speeches, I could only imagine how smothering and extra he is. I mean, they're basking in it now because they're benefiting. But I think where he's going to go wrong is he's going to, well, for one, he's going to put so much into them that he's going to expect 1,000% praises and worship service from them back. Now, they may go along to play the game for a little while, but how long are you going to keep thanking him and playing the game with him of you know, having to act as if you're happy with everything you're getting from him and everything you're doing? I just think it's a saying that too much of anything isn't good. I just think when you overdo things and there's not a balance, at some point it's going to cause burnout. I believe he's going to burn the new family out. They're going to get tired of having to help praise him through everything, compliment him through everything. I mean, yes, right now it's a win-win. You know, the stepdaughter done got a Mercedes Benz. I'm sure the son is going to get something. His wife is getting the best of everything. I just really believe he's going to overindulge and become so obsessed with trying to prove a point to the other family that he's not realizing that he's going to put a lot on the family who he's trying to put up there on the pedestal. I definitely believe his wife at some point is going to get annoyed with it. You know, again, she's going with the flow now because, you know, they're married, they have a family, but too much of anything ain't good. Even too much of a good thing is not good. You know, just too much exercise. You become so obsessed with exercising, even though exercising is a good thing, but at some point in time, you have to have some balance in which you don't become so obsessed and asphyxiated with exercising to the point that you don't take the time to just have fun. You watching every calorie intake, and the moment you put on 2 or 3 pounds, you're freaking out. You know, you can become so asphyxiated on something that you end up really failing in other areas because you're so asphyxiated in succeeding and proving a point and over excelling yourself in this one area in your life while the other areas in your life are being deprived. I truly believe that it is going to backfire at some point or another because he's making his family his God. He's putting him on a pedestal, and his wife is just a human being. She's not Jesus Christ himself. She could only play the game so long, make him look good so long. I just believe he's going to be very extra with this family. He's going to get on their nerves. He's going to annoy them. Listen, it kind of reminds me a little bit of how Kanye West was so overly asphyxiated and running Kim Kardashian's life, especially when they had their mixed breed children. He really thought he was on his high horse then when, you know, he had his, you know, mixed children, his daughter, you know, and his son Saint, you know, and whatever. And what happened was, you know, Kim did fake the funk with him for a little while. You saw her smile with him, saw her, you know, pretend she was this happy wife, happy life. We got the children now. And behind closed doors, Kim Kardashian was so freaking miserable. Men like this that put so much into you, they can become very controlling and expect a lot back in return. Brian McKnight is not just doing for them, and it's not going to be a price to pay. It's a catch-22 in it. He probably is going to, you know, it may be something as simple as, you know, he's going to expect glory and praises from them all the time, especially since he's on bad terms with his ex-wife and the children. So he's going to do everything for them and look for every little love, every little gravitation. In the moment they deprive Brian McKnight on that, or they don't seem that interested anymore after they done got used to the new cars, used to the nice home. Because, you know, people, you know, you can only satisfy the human being but so much, you know, till people just lose interest. You know, that's just being human. I think because Brian McKnight is striving so hard to build his current family, to worship him, overly appreciate him. The moment he feels they stop showing him that those praises and worship, that you're a wonderful father, wonderful husband, I think it's going to really derail him to where he's going to start tripping a little bit, because he's already, in his mind, he's not getting the appreciation, the praises, and the worship service he wants from his ex-wife and his children from the previous relationship. So the moment this family here starts acting a little bit like, okay, we done got used to giving you praise and worship, and they don't do it anymore, especially that wife, I think he's going to really start being very extra. He done prove he's very extra with the long Tyler Perry Hallmark card speeches. Back to Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian was miserable. Kanye West acted like he had this prize on, he had this queen as prize, and again, Kim went with the game. She went with the image, because, you know, everything in Hollywood in the industry is all about image. Play the part, look the part. Even if you're falling apart, you got to keep your poker face on. We've seen Beyonce do it when her sister slapped the hell out of Jay-Z in the elevator, and they came out acting like nothing ever happened. And if that footage would have never came out, we would not have known Beyonce's sister Solange was gangster. The industry has programmed them to uphold the image, and it becomes robotic. These celebrities have programmed themselves to smile and keep their poker face no matter how much they're crumbling or folding or under pressure. Then we're shocked when they commit suicide. We're shocked when they divorce because they've been under pressure the whole time. It's just that fight of survival, of keeping your image, that has become more important in the industry than your real well-being. Is to pretend you're okay, act like you're okay when you're really not. And this is the reason why these celebrities end up committing suicide. They drink themselves to death, or they end up on drugs because they can't really be transparent with the world, because the world is very critical and judgmental. We do it. We bloggers, we do it all the time. So you got to really be strong-minded to be in that type of world. But anyway, Kim Kardashian, when it all came out, child, and she couldn't fake the funk no more, and she filed for divorce or whatever, it was because she was miserable. Come to find out, Kanye was regulating everything, honey, down to how she should dress. He not only was her husband, he became her fashion stylist. Now, I don't know about y'all. I don't want my husband picking everything for me to wear, okay? I do respect his opinion with certain things. He may be like, babe, I think that's a little too tight. I think, you're a little too overdressy. I can adhere to certain things, but when you want to regulate my whole wardrobe, Kim Kardashian said Kanye made her give away all her clothes, and he rebuilt her whole new wardrobe for her. See, it's a lot dealing with these men who act like once they get with these non-colored women, they have this sense of superiority. It's more to it than I'm better than everybody, and I no longer deal with black women. It's the fact that when they get with these other women, they are just as bad. They become overbearing, over controlling, overprotective, and you wonder why. Some of these non-colored women, they divorce them. They are extra. Brian McKnight is going to be very extra. Ray Charles can see that. He's going to be overbearing in his own sweet, manipulative way. I'm not saying he probably is going to curse them out or be hella nasty, but I believe he's going to always consistently pressure them into assuring him and making him feel secure that he's the best thing that ever happened to them. He's the best thing that ever happened to them. He's not getting that right now from the family he had before, because he's so busy being mean and nasty in his feelings. And see, the other family not gonna kiss his behind like that. They're gonna step up to him and call him out, and that's what they've been doing. So therefore, he don't want to deal with them. He only wants to deal with the family that's gonna validate him, make him feel like he's the king of Zamunda. And when they get tired of having to play this game of worshiping him and praising him, all hell is gonna break loose, because he don't put them up there so high. His pride is not going to be able to handle them letting him down. He's doing all this stuff, buying them everything, doing everything for them, worshiping the newborn son like he didn't have any other sons, because he wants to keep this family at bay. It's like gaslighting. I want to tell y'all how wonderful y'all are, how much of a blessing y'all are to me, and y'all mean the world to me, because I want y'all to keep kissing my behind. I want y'all to keep worshiping me. I want y'all to keep making me look good for the family who I disappointed. I want y'all to tell me how great I am. I want y'all to tell me how great of a father I am, since I let down my biological children. I want you to tell me how wonderful I am as your husband, since me and my ex-wife, we don't get along, we don't see eye to eye. He's putting all his all into them, and it's not because he has genuine intentions. It's another form. It's another manipulative way of keeping this new family of his, this new snow bunny family of his, under his control. And it's also to piss off his previous family, who he can no longer control. So it's gonna be interesting, y'all. But listen, these sunken place simps, like I said, I have no problem with people dating outside of their race or whatever. But listen, I don't know why people think it's safe when they go to the other race. Because you got a Brad now, or you got a Becky. You think you can show your behind with all your own kind, because you done got your snow bunny. You done got your Snow King, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, and you really start smelling yourself and dissing your own people and acting like black women is garbage, acting like black men is garbage, only to find out when your snow bunny gets tired of playing with you, get tired of pleasing you, get tired of trying to appease you, they leave. I'm sure Dr. Dre's ex-wife Nicole was tired of Dre. He became overbearing, even though he's up here walking the red carpets with her, acting like he really respects his queen, his snow bunny. Behind closed doors, she was miserable with that joker. That's why as soon as she filed the divorce papers, I think it was like 2 days before their goddamn anniversary. That lady felt like an inmate at Coastal State Prison, okay? She wanted to get away from his domineering, controlling, yet successful ass. She didn't want no more smoke with Dr. Dre. She ran out that marriage, honey, like a runaway slave from the plantation, like eyes free, eyes free. But she better watch that money, because she didn't get all the millions and billions she thought she was gonna get from Dre. So she better cut back just a little bit before she be broke after file bankruptcy. You feel me? So anyway, y'all, please hit the like button. Let me know what y'all think about this content tonight, about the Sunken play simps. Do y'all think that, are these women that are with them really that happy? Do you think these men put them up on a pedestal as a way to compensate for the areas in which they feel like they failed themselves, or black women, or maybe black women failed them possibly? What is y'all intake on this? And what do you see Brian McKnight's, how do you think his future is going to play out with how he's been doing his ex-wife and his children? I'm interested in hearing. Also, before I shut it down too, hit that like button, y'all. Please hit the likes, share the video, y'all. Put y'all friends on, bring some more people over. Until I get a little bit more members, I'm going to allow a couple of sneak peeks of my Unhinged series just for a little while. But members, like I said, you know, when it comes to y'all getting discounts on my products, I definitely got y'all on that, whether if it's a tumbler, whether if it's my cable package. So don't think because you're not constantly getting membership videos that I'm counting y'all out or anything. So trust and believe, you'll still get your discounts off of other things, even my anger management classes, which I'm almost done with also, because I'm close to certifying, where I'll be legitimized to do it correctly. Unlike before, I had a couple of things missing, so I'm almost there. So if you're interested in any of my products as a member, hit me up, let me know. Christmas is coming up. Y'all may need some customized tumblers from your family. I will make sure you get that discount if you are a member. You feel me? So nevertheless, I love all my peoples. I love my subscribers. I love my members. I love my viewers, those who are not even subscribed yet, who just want to stop by and do a drive-by and check me out. But you can subscribe. It's free. You don't have to become a member unless you really just want to support me and help to build my fan base. I'd appreciate that. Also, I am going to be doing another content coming up soon on air mattress and penny loafers with no penny. Yes, I'm talking about Arion air mattress and Martell Hold. And Caramel Rail, when the content creators brought it to our attention. As content creators, they're going around striking and flagging people who are inserting videos of them from the Instagram. So as much as I would love to make it convenient for y'all who don't have Instagram accounts, who don't have Facebook, I would love to show y'all the video footage of, you know, a lot of the bird brain shenanigans that she's been doing. I'm not going to be able to do that because I don't want any strikes on my channel, because she's actually on a rampage right now for everybody who's posting videos, especially if you're not co-signing and you're not showing any appreciation on her and Martell being together. So I'm going to strategically do content and without bringing any too much attention to the channel in which she can actually strike it. So even when I post her videos, I'm going to be posting certain things to cover certain parts of her. It's just to protect my channel, and I don't want to lose all of what I have built thus far with my channel. So I got to use discernment and I have to use my best judgment. So we're still going to take our digs, but we just got to be careful and more strategic. So if you see certain things about my thumbnail that you're not used to seeing, I'm covering up certain things. It's for the protection of my channel. I don't want to lose all of what I have built up. So we still gonna go in. We just gonna do it in a different way. Because she's actually going around here striking channels. She's coming after content creators really, really hard, y'all. And Ariane doesn't have much control over anything in her life. So I guess it makes her feel a sense of empowerment that she can go around striking channels. So the couple of the videos that I did do on her with the video footage, I turned it into members only because I didn't want her, for whatever reason, one day deciding to go through my channel and seeing the content that I did do with her video footage in it. So a lot of those videos that y'all used to see with her videos in it, I have removed all that, or I made it private. So honey, that's just the name of the game. And I wish YouTube would really respect people who really want to blog about these type of issues that's going on with these celebrities. You know, as long as we're not threatening their child, as long as we're not threatening any harm on them, I feel as part of freedom of speech, we should have the right to be able to opinionate on Angry Bird behavior and Bob the Builder behavior. I believe we should be able to opinionate on that and use video footage. But got to respect the rules of the house. I don't run YouTube. YouTube is giving me the privilege to put my platform here. So guess what? I am going to play their game. But be on the lookout. We got some more Angry Bird and Bob the Builder content coming up relatively soon. So y'all be blessed. Don't forget Christmas is coming up. Start putting your orders early for your tumblers. Don't forget I do sell cable. I sell cable, over 12,000 live channels. Only $27 a month, and that's up to 2 lines. I don't know how much your cable bill is. If you could put in the bottom of the comment section how much you are paying for your cable. I'm curious to know how much y'all paying for y'all cable right now, because I haven't paid for real cable in almost 5-6 years since I started my app. So I really want to know how the prices are doing, if they gotten worse or if they got a little cheaper. I'm curious to know how much your cable bill is. So yeah, let me know. Keep me posted on that, y'all. So anyway, until next time, it is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, represent Mocha's Ladies Lounge. Y'all be blessed. Take care.